Welcome back to Books with AR. Chapter 50, Exchange 4. He is Lusong. I heard from the elders that he is the #1 genius in the Heng Yue sect. Xuan Dao Sect is going to lose for sure. 5th senior bother, go! I will follow your example. The Heng Yue sect disciples all cheered with excitement. All of the confidence they lost from the first 2 losses had started to come back. Some of the female disciples became love-struck and felt dependent on Lusong. Huang Long also smiled faintly. He thought that since Lusong had come out this time, he would win this round for sure. Wang Zhuo jealously looked at Lusong and softly snorted. Even the Xuan Dao Sect disciples were filled with shock. Lusong's fame was something they had heard of as they grew up in the past 20 years. Although Lusong ultimately lost in the exchange, he still left a deep impression in the elders' minds. Elder Ouyang's face darkened. He said, "Xu Mu, I allow you to remove Ancestor's seal to use your full power." Xu Mu's expression became serious. He opened up his shirt and revealed a yellow talisman on his chest. The Heng Yue sect elders were stunned. After carefully looking at the talisman, they all revealed shocked expressions. Huang Wang asked, "Friend Ouyang, this talisman?" Elder Ouyang's eyes lit up. He indifferently said, "Huang Long, this is something that I will explain to you at another time. In this exchange today, I will add another condition. If our Xuan Dao Sect wins this time, you have to lend us the Heng Yue Mountain for 500 years. Everyone's expressions changed. Huang Long narrowed his eyes and said, "Are you joking, friend Ouyang?" Elder Ouyang shook his head. He said, "Huang Long, as you can see, this talisman can't be created by someone not of the Nascent Soul stage. To tell you the truth, an ancestor of the Xuan Dao Sect returned from the battlefield of a rank 4 country and told me that all of the ancestors of the Heng Yue sect have died." Huang Long's expression changed. After pondering for a long time, he said, "Elder Ouyang, stop this nonsense. Otherwise, don't blame the Heng Yue sect for not showing mercy." Elder Ouyang smiled and said, "Our Xuan Dao sect hasn't taken this mountain by force yet because of our friendship, so we will give you guys a fair chance in this exchange. If the Heng Yue sect wins this time, then we will leave you guys be. I already passed my message. Huang Long, let us continue this exchange." The inner disciples of the Heng Yue sect were all confused, but they all felt giant rocks weighing down their hearts. Even the sky felt like it had darkened. Wang Lin was alarmed. It seemed what Situ Nan said was true. The cultivation world really was separated by ranks. Huang Lun's face was pale, and his eyes were dull. He muttered to himself, "Over. It's all over. All of the Heng Yue sect ancestors are dead. Before, we could at least rely on the ancestors to intimidate the other sects and barely hold on. But now that the ancestors are dead, it's all over. Damn it! If it wasn't for the rank 4 countries invading 500 years ago to steal the Dragon Star and resulting in the country calling away all its Nascent Soul cultivators, the Heng Yue sect wouldn't be in the state it's in." Huang Long saw his fellow brothers and inner disciples' uneasiness. He suppressed the unrest in his heart and shouted, "Everyone in the Heng Yue sect, stop panicking. Whether this is true or not will be checked by the core formation elder. What are you all worrying about? Lusong, continue the exchange." Lusong, who was on the stage, was also shocked by Ouyang's words, but he regained his composure. He opened his mouth and spat out a purple fog. The fog grew until it became a giant hand and grabbed towards Xu Mu. Xu Mu's expression slightly changed. He didn't say a word and slammed his bag of holding. 6 golden balls flew out and went towards the hand. Lusong coldly smiled. His hand formed a seal, and the giant hand waved in the air, causing an evil wind that moved the golden balls off course.
This evil wind also caused the spiritual energy in Shumu's body to go out of control. He quickly shouted, "Explode!" The 6 golden balls simultaneously exploded. The explosion released shock waves that blew all the audience back a bit. Lu Song snorted and mocked, "Huh, a small trick." The giant hand formed a fist. Ignoring the explosion, the fist quickly slammed down. Shumu's face was pale. Seeing that the hand was about to land on him, he clenched his teeth and took out a yellow talisman. The talisman looked plain. Xumu bit his tongue and sprayed out some blood. The blood mist in the air quickly transformed into a liquid and formed a blood dragon. Xumu didn't bat an eye and formed a seal with his hand. The blood dragon twisted and turned. It formed into a strange image that imprinted on the talisman. The yellow talisman suddenly started to glow a glaring light as if it were a small sun. The fist dissipated in front of everyone's eyes. After Wang Lin saw this, he was shocked. He had one of those talismans as well. "It is a magic talisman," Lu Song frowned. He waved his sleeves and 2 white dragons flew out. The 2 white dragons flew around once and charged at Xumu at lightning speed. Xumu let out a pitiful laugh. He used all of his energy to resist the giant fist that came down on him. He had no energy to stop those 2 white dragons at all. Seeing that the 2 white dragons were already showing their ferocious teeth at the most dangerous moment, a cold snort came from the Xuan Dao Sect disciples. Shortly after, a black rainbow shot out from the Xuan Dao Sect and easily surrounded the 2 white dragons. With a cracking sound, the 2 white dragons quickly disappeared and turned into 2 silver swords. The black rainbow tightened again and broke the 2 swords in half. Lu Song's expression suddenly changed. The flying swords linked to his soul were broken, which caused him to cough out a mouthful of blood. His face revealed a horrified expression. The giant hand above Shumu's head dissipated as well, since Lu Song couldn't keep his concentration. Xumu quickly left with the yellow talisman with the look of him getting lucky today. Lu Song also walked off the stage with a bleak expression. Huang Long's face sank. He shouted, "Xuan Dao Sect, don't go too far." The elders beside him also became enraged. Some of the more ill-tempered elders already took out their treasures, ready to fight. The inner disciples also saw what was going out and became angry. The remaining 2 yellow-clad disciples all looked at the middle-aged man standing in the back of the Xuan Dao Sect. It was him who let out that cold snort earlier. Elder Ouyang turned back and looked at the middle-aged man. He warily smiled and said, "This 3rd round is won by the Heng Yue Sect. As for what just happened, Old man Ouyang, don't say any more pointless words. This Heng Yue Sect is only mediocre." The middle-aged man standing in the back slowly walked forward. As he took a step, the ground suddenly split and the crack extended all the way to the stage. Welcome back to Books with AR. Chapter 51. Entering the Stage 1. Meanwhile, his body moved and he appeared on the stage. He looked at the Heng Yue Sect disciples with an arrogant expression and said, "All you Heng Yue Sect inner disciples can all come at once. I, Zhou Peng, will take you all on." The Heng Yue Sect disciples went into an uproar. Even the Heng Yue Sect elders revealed frowns. None of the people from the Xuan Dao Sect said anything. They only revealed respectful looks. It seemed that this person's status was not low in the Xuan Dao Sect. Elder Ouyang coughed and shouted, "Friend Wang Long, this is Zhou Peng. He is our Xuan Dao Sect's head disciple. Let this one match decide it all. If one of your Heng Yue Sect disciples can last 10 seconds, then the Heng Yue Sect has won." Zhang Huang's eyes lit up. He moved his body, landed on the stage, then heavily said, "Such an arrogant kid. I'll test you." Zhou Peng let out a laugh and said, "You? You appear to be at the 6th layer of key condensation, but you're hiding your true strength. You're actually at the 8th layer. You are not strong enough." As he was speaking, a cold light flashed across his eyes. He waved his right hand, then a black snake suddenly leapt out and grew into a giant python. This python's large head looked coldly at Zhang Kuang's terrified face. It opened its mouth and inhaled, which produced an unimaginable suction force. The suction was very strange. It only affected Zhang Kuang and no one else. Zhang Kuang didn't have the power to resist. Before he could even use any techniques, his body acted like a kite with its string broken and was sucked toward the python. Zhou Peng sneered. He raised his right hand and grabbed Zhang Kuang's neck. He said, "Go back and train for a few dozen years before coming back to look for me." With that, he threw Zhang Kuang out with his right hand. The last remaining purple-clothed disciple went to catch Zhang Kuang, but wasn't able to counteract the force, so they both slid on the ground for a very long distance before finally stopping. Zhang Kuang's face was very pale, his eyes were closed, and his body constantly trembled. On his neck was a black handprint, as if there was a hand firmly clamped on his neck. The purple-clothed disciple that caught him had a look of horror on his face and was silent. Wang Long's heart was very bitter. The Xuan Dao Sect's head disciple was simply too strong. Based on what happened just now, this person was at least at the 10th layer. He surely had a talisman hiding his cultivation level, so the exact level wasn't known. Then he looked at the surrounding inner disciples. Wang Long let out a sigh. Even the head disciple, who was with the core formation elders, didn't have a good chance of winning because he was only at the 10th layer. If he loses the fight, then the Heng Yue sect has completely lost. Wang Long wryly snarled and said, "Fine, it seems my Heng Yue sect has no hope. Quickly, tell the two ancestors about what old man Ouyang said, so they can make a decision. If what he said is true, then there is no hope in keeping the Heng Yue peak." Zhou Peng arrogantly looked at the surrounding people and asked, "Who's next?" All of the Heng Yue sect disciples became dumbfounded. None of them spoke up, and they all lowered their heads at Zhou Peng's gaze, because none of them wanted to go up. Zhou Peng sneered. He looked down upon them in his heart. However, as his gaze was sweeping over the disciples, he was stunned when he noticed that there was a third-layer disciple who wasn't afraid of his gaze. Wang Lin's expression remained calm as he looked at Zhou Peng. Zhou Peng stared at Wang Lin and coldly asked, "What? You want to come up?" Zhou Peng's words attracted everyone's attention. When they realized that Zhou Peng's words were directed at Wang Lin, all of their expressions became strange. Wang Long let out a sigh. Wang Lin was only at the 3rd layer, and normally wouldn't be noticed among the disciples. But now, although his cultivation was low, his bravery was commendable. Zhou Peng, seeing that Wang Lin didn't respond, sneered and said, "Out of the 4 battles, there is still one left. The Heng Yue sect is a large sect, yet no one dares to come up. I'm very disappointed. Do none of your inner disciples dare to come up?" Elder X, who was standing next to Wang Long, said, "Sorry, junior brother's son. Wang Lin, you go." Sun Dazhu was stunned and immediately realized what was going on. He angrily said, "Dao X, although you are my senior brother, you can't disgrace me like this. My disciple is only at the 3rd layer. Letting him go up will only make me lose face. Don't think I don't know what you're thinking. Their sect's head disciple is too strong, so you all are afraid that your disciples will be defeated, shamed, and hurt, so you're sending in my disciple as a scapegoat. My disciple has always been considered a trash at the school, so even if he loses, you guys can make an excuse. I refuse to agree to such a disgraceful thing." Dao X frowned. He really did have such thoughts in mind, but Dao Zhu didn't give him any face and said all of that in front of the Xuan Dao Sect. He sneered. His eyes looked at the sect head Wang Long and sent some messages. Wang Long sighed and said, "Junior brother's son, don't bother saying more. Wang Lin, you go." Wang Long angrily threw his sleeve to the side and looked up into the sky with a mocking smile on his face. Wang Lin clasped his hands and respectfully exclaimed, "As you command." With that, he took a deep breath, then slowly walked forward and onto the stage. All of the Xuan Dao Sect disciples started to jeer loudly at him. "Heng Yue Sect, you have no shame sending a waste to compete with our eldest martial brother. Our eldest martial brother doesn't even need to deal with this waste. I can kill him with just a thumb. Eldest martial brother, they have already given up. Just send someone else to deal with him. He is honestly pretty pitiful. Be a good person and just send him off without hurting him." Elder Ouyang looked at the two elders and revealed a look of disdain and laughed and said, "I really got to know the true Wang Long and Heng Yue Sect today." Wang Long's face sank. Without a word, he waved his sleeves and left. He didn't have any hope in Wang Lin. He only sent Wang Lin up to be father to end the last match. In this exchange, he had already accepted defeat. After all, if he lost, then if word got out that no one even dared to fight, then it would be too disgraceful. None of the other inner disciples dared to go up, so he could only send Wang Lin. Behind him, all of the elders of the Heng Yue Sect shook their heads and turned around to leave. Even the inner disciples started to move their feet, unwilling to stick around and lose more face.